What's up, people? In this video we're going to talk about cheat days versus cheat meals versus cheating a little bit every day on your diet. I think this is an interesting topic to talk about. I was just thinking about it the other day because people have different ideas about this, but I've noticed that, well, I'll tell you the difference between all of them and then I'll just tell you what works best for me. In my experience, after having reviewed literally hundreds of eating disorder, mukbang, fitness videos on YouTube, I've noticed that people generally fall into one of these three categories. And I'll spoil the video for you right now. In my experience, what I've seen is that the most mentally balanced / fit people generally cheat a little bit every day, okay? And that's also what I do, but we'll talk about that at the end. It's not to say that people who do cheat days or cheat meals are not mentally balanced. No offense to anybody who I probably offended. Just that those require more discipline, and most people don't have the discipline to follow through on something like that, which means that if you try to do it and you're not mentally disciplined, you're gonna fuck up and it's gonna fuck with your head. Okay, anyway, let's talk about cheat days, all right? We've all seen our favorite YouTubers doing cheat days, 10,000 calorie challenges, blah, 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 20,000 calorie, whatever. And again, no offense to anybody in particular, but I'm sure you have all probably noticed that the people who do cheat days are people who have like addiction problems, people who have eating disorders in the past, people have like maybe struggled with drug addiction and now have like traded their drug addiction for a food addiction. It's generally not a good idea to do a cheat day. Not only is it, the people who do it are generally like have some issues in the past, but oh man, this is so weird doing this in front of other people again. It's like Japan. But it's actually harder to stick to, right? Because if you do a cheat day, you have to eat clean the entire week, right? Let's say you do one cheat day a week or one cheat day a month. That implies that you're going to eat clean the entire week, the entire week or the entire month, which means you're going to be resisting temptation a lot more. Okay, so I don't really like cheat days for that reason. Okay, I'm not saying if you do cheat days, you'll be like mentally unstable and you'll like start doing mukbangs and eating like 50 hot dogs at once. Although, what I have noticed is that when you try to be disciplined for a very long time, you crack much harder, right? And when you crack very hard. The classic example is there's a lot of people who will do fasting or who will do the snake diet, and they'll fast for like a week or like 4 days or 5 days or something. And then when they finally eat, they like go berserk and they go gain all the weight back, because in the back of their mind, they're thinking, okay, it's gonna be a very long time before I'm able to eat these foods again, or eat really any food if you're fasting. So they just kind of let themselves go with the knowledge that they're going to, lose the weight back very quickly. Okay, so it's kind of the same with cheat days, all right? And this has also been my experience. Let's talk about cheat meals. And I guess the one caveat to this is like, if you're actually a physique competitor, right? This is like the caveat to this entire comparison, right? Because generally physique competitors, yeah, some of them, might have had issues with like eating disorders in the past, and they're using the physique competition or the habit of bodybuilding, let's say, to kind of hide that. That's definitely a thing that I've noticed. I'm gonna get killed. But there are definitely some like, again, no offense, like mentally healthy physique competitors who manage to eat clean the entire week and then have a cheat day. Okay, so like, I don't want to blanket everybody with that same statement. Let's talk about cheat meals. Cheat meals are kind of the same thing, but I guess I kind of wonder like how often you're allowed to have a cheat meal if you do cheat meals. In my experience, cheat meals are kind of impulsive, right? Kind of like when it happens, you're just like, oh fuck it, this is my cheat meal. You know what I mean? Like if I'm out at an event and I open the floodgates, have like a little piece of bread or have like a cracker with some cheese, it's just like something kind of goes off in my mind and I'm like, oh God, that was so good. I start rationalizing in my head, right? It's like, oh man, I can just like diet this off. I can do some extra cardio and then I'll be fine, right? So the cheat meal turns into like a binge after a little bit of a taste of something. So I generally don't recommend cheat meals either, unless you like manage to stay very organized and very, just disciplined and organized, I guess. And to be fair, most people are not disciplined or organized with anything, let alone fitness, right? Most fit people that I know, being fit, going to the gym, working out is really just a habit. You know, it's not like they schedule or they plan anything. They just like going to the gym, and it's almost like it's just an activity that they enjoy. Now, let's talk about what you should do, or what I think you should do for most casual fitness people who are not disciplined or not organized, and that is to cheat a little bit every day. Now, I've explained this before in other videos, but being fit, right, is all about, think of it like a balance, okay? It's like a scale that you need to balance. Like, think of the old, like, you know, the scales of justice? Think of a scale like that. Oh my God, so many people. Think of the scales of justice, okay? But instead of the scales of justice, it's the scales of fitness, right? So on one side, this is one side of the scale. On one side, you have like unhealthy food and unhealthy behaviors, right? On the other side, you have healthy food and healthy behaviors. Okay, the more you have on the healthy side, let's say, the heavier that is, the heavier the other side can be. So, for example, if you exercise for an hour a day, 6 days a week, if you do a lot of cardio, if you do weight training, you play a sport, you do boxing, whatever, you do something that has like very high caloric demands, and you generally eat healthy for most of the week, I personally don't think there's a problem with cheating every day. I can have some cupcakes, eat a whole box of cookies if you want, because you have enough on this side to balance everything else. Okay, go ahead, drink your alcohol, have a glass of wine, go get hammered, do whatever you want. It doesn't really matter, right? Because you have so many healthy behaviors over here on the one side. But if you're a lazy slob, no offense, again, to most of you probably, but if you're a lazy slob and you don't do shit and you don't go to the gym, you don't even have a gym membership, and you eat whatever you want, and you're just like, have let yourself go and haven't done anything for years, again, no offense, like, I love you all, kind of, I do. You know, like every tiny thing that you do, that extra, you know, Netflix series that you binge on, or that milkshake that you order is going to have more weight because there's nothing over here to balance it out. So anyway, I guess that's like my breakdown. Plus, another benefit of cheating a little bit every day is that it helps to like relieve the pressure of being disciplined all the time to eat the right foods. It's not easy, you know, to eat the right foods all the time. Straight up, like, I don't know how else to tell you. It's just not easy, you know. Every day where I eat, I'll have like my main meal. I'll eat a lot of food, and then I'll still want something else, because I won't really be satisfied. I won't really be full. And then I'll, you know, normally like reach for something that's not super healthy, and then I'll have like my, you know, it depends in severity, but chocolate, chips, french fries, pizza, whatever. I'll have that, and that'll kind of satisfy me to tomorrow. And not only that, I'll feel like a little bit guilty, so that the next day when I go to train, I'll have more motivation to actually like get a good workout in, because I'll be thinking in my mind, oh man, I just had this like fill in the blank unhealthy food. Okay, so tell me, what do you think about my breakdown? Cheat days versus cheat meals versus cheating a little bit every day. Am I right? Am I wrong? What do you do? Are you a cheat day person, or a cheat meal person, or a cheat every day, or you don't even like care, you just do whatever you want? Let me know, leave me a comment. Peace.